One of the great rock and roll voices ever. But that said, I needed him to be quiet. I could have turned to Pete Townsend and said, get your boy. We're trying to talk here. He's swinging a microphone. I always forget to say thank you to my friends at Zaxby's in a timely fashion. And today they made sure that I could not. And what they did was they brought us lunch. And they said, Cameron, damn it, we appreciate all you do for us, but can you mention us in a timely fashion today? Here's a chicken Philly. Eat this chicken Philly and tell me what you think about it. And I obliged. I ate that chicken Philly, and I'm drinking some tea here, and we were doing some good things. So it was delicious. Tom's got the chicken Philly there too. He has yet to partake because he came in a little late for Tom. So he's going to have to get after it during the commercial break.
It's a legit hoagie roll, my man.
Yeah.
It is good.
I'm gonna, I like to try to be transparent and honest here on the show. And that sometimes that's good for people. Sometimes it's bad for people. Sometimes it hurts people's feelings. Sometimes they love it. It just depends. But what I'll tell you is I thought that chicken Philly was going to suck. I'm not going to lie. I thought that chicken Philly was going to suck.
This is one way to pitch it.
And I said to myself, well, you know what? Eat that chicken Philly. It's free. And you do good business with the friends that you have at Zaxby's. They're good people.
You just thought they were stepping out of their lane a little bit at Zaxby's.
I thought they were totally out over their skis. I said, what are we doing here? This isn't what you do. And then I'm not going to lie. I ate the chicken Philly, and it was freaking delicious. If you're not in Philadelphia getting one of the great chicken Phillies of all time, but, I live in Tallahassee, so what are you going to do? And I have to tell you, that thing is delicious. Delicious. So I was wrong. I'll tell you that, Danny, I was wrong. I thought that Philly was going to suck. And it does not. It's very good. There you go. There you go. And that's a for real, honest assessment. It's very tasty. And you know why? They didn't screw up the bread.
It's a legit hoagie roll.
It is. I thought they'd screw up the bread. They did not. Right off the bat, we got questions pouring in. We got people ready to roll. All right.
Also, fingers were brought here, and I'm glad they're in your studio.
Yeah, they're over here off camera.
It's dangerous.
But they're for you to eat as well.
I
can't eat all these fingers.
I've already done my part.
Oh, boy. What did we get here? Renegade's asking me a question. Jeff, if we had to lose one of our remaining games, which game do you think would be best for us to lose? I think there's only one answer, but wanted to hear yours and Tom's opinions. Well, you can't lose to Virginia Tech and still be a playoff team. You can't lose to Syracuse and still be a playoff team. It seems unlikely that you could lose at this point to Duke and still be a playoff team. I suppose.
There is only one answer.
It's Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you could go on, win the ACC championship, wipe that taste out of the playoff committee's mouth, and perhaps it's enough to do the job.
Yeah, hoping you could get there. I mean, if Louisville remains undefeated, we're going to have a problem. Because if you lose that game to Miami, and let's say Miami goes, they'll be playing Louisville. If that team stays undefeated. So you need Notre Dame to step up this weekend and do the right thing. It's rare, very rare in the Cameron household that anybody is actively cheering for Notre Dame.
Louisville does play Miami.
Okay, good. So I didn't think that was true. Okay, so maybe we have a little wiggle room there.
You'd be rooting for Miami in that situation, though. You would. To.
You'd want an undefeated Miami. You'd want them to stay undefeated if they beat you.
To give you the platform to leap over their flaccid bodies.
Oh, okay. One of the things that you would think in that moment is, hey, we lost to an undefeated team and then exacted revenge in the ACC championship and finished 12-1 with one loss to an undefeated regular season Miami team. You would probably have a good case to get in. Again, it depends on what Michigan does the rest of the way. Depends on what Ohio State does. We know they play each other. They're going to have a loss. And I'm not on the cusp of announcing that I think Miami in some way is going to go undefeated. I'm talking about what we would need from them, not what I think they're going to do. I'll tell you what I said yesterday. I'd come in with some player props if I had some. I think I got one. That I'll give you later today. I don't want to be burdened by the need to check Twitter in case people have asked for it. And I often forget these days to check Twitter. So, days go by and all of a sudden I'll be like, oh man, somebody asked me something 9 days ago. And it's a legit question. I should have answered
It's a busy day too. I mean, you got a football game tonight. Is that right?
Yes, a very big football game tonight. Leon and Lincoln. I combined the two just a moment ago. Leon and Lincoln.
Is
an age-old rivalry.
High stakes.
Yeah.
Is Leon still undefeated?
They are.
Oh, man.
Leon is still undefeated, and really it's expressly because of Bryce Cameron's presence on the field.
I'm sure it is.
It's
Coach on the field.
It's an amazing thing. No, Tyrone McGriff's done a great job over there, and I'm really happy for all those kids. And so, yeah, I think the streak ends tonight, but I could be wrong.
You're pre-gaming at the CP. Tailgate at the CP for the big Lincoln-Leon game.
I'll be at Corner Pocket along with you and really other members of the staff, I think, that should be kicking it around and having a beer or two and saying hello to folks.
Keg stands?
No, I'm not going to my son's game liquored up. I'm going to be laid back with a Guinness or so, and then I'll move on over to the football game at hand. Buddy, it's like they want to test me. This game is also not at either Leon or Lincoln.
Oh, it's under the lights of Gene Cox Stadium?
God, dog it, man. I swear to God. Yes, it is. It's just like, and I didn't.
Isn't that closer to CP, though?
Yeah, it is.
At least you have a medium spot.
Yeah. It's a longer drive home, but yes, it is. And it's also, I've grown to kind of loathe that spot. I don't like it.
But there is no drive home from a Friday night like a drive home from Gene Cox Stadium after watching those two teams play under lights at Gene Cox Stadium. It's an amazing, it's an amazing venue.
You know what's amazing? Getting off to a 1-0 start on a Redemption Thursday, rolling on into a Libations Friday, and we did last night. And oh, by the way, this is why you gamble, kids, he says irresponsibly. I laid that 6.5 with Western Kentucky last night, and I was getting sleepy. And it was 35-7 Western Kentucky. And I was saying to myself, you're so good at this. You should move to Vegas and be a professional gambler with the way you whoop ass gambling. And so my wife saw the smile on my face around 10 o'clock. I said, getting a little sleepy. Got no baseball games to look at. This Washington-Chicago game doesn't have my attention. I think I'm going to go to bed here in a minute. And Louisiana Tech scored. And so, you know how it works, Tom? You kind of,
Yep. One eyebrow raised.
Yeah, you're like, that's less than ideal. But we got, we're laying 6.5. We're going to be all right. It's 35-21. We're going to be okay.
All we need is a couple first downs here. Just a couple first downs.
Yeah, well, then they didn't get it, and then another touchdown occurred, and we're at 35-28. It was 35-7 when that sleep was hitting me, and I was bragging about what a great gambler I am, and now it's 35-28, and I'm covered by a half a point. And I'm starting to squirm a little bit.
You're feeling the demons at Chestnut Hill with Knowles and BC.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. But it worked. That's a cover. We jumped on board that cover train, and then we pulled the covers over and went sound asleep.
Do you have something that you say to Christy when you cover? Like you say, it's the cover train. You know it. Do you have a saying of some kind?
No. I make snide comments about sex or something.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's like, because you want to bet? You want me to have sex with you? Yeah, because I won that bet. I think we should. And then, she just walks down the hall. And I decide whether to stay up and keep watching football.
I was feeling a little bad about raising the stakes on the show with the stadium reference and then Miami's bodies that we step over. And then you said, oh, hold my Guinness.
No, man, she laughs at me because she knows I can't hide the fact that I'm obviously gambling. She walks by. She doesn't have any desire to watch Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech. So she's like, what are you watching? I'm like, the Western Kentucky game. She's like,
Clark knows what's up.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's like, what are we doing tonight, Pops?
Tuesday night football, Dad?
Yeah, he said to me, last night as he walked by, what'd we lay? And I said 6.5. And he goes, he laughed and he goes, it's getting dicey. And then he kept walking. I was like, it is getting dicey. But I like that he's got it. He knows the deal, and it's fun that way. And then the next morning he wakes up and we covered, we good. I'm like, we covered. Here's your breakfast.
See,
it's a wholesome household right there.
I don't have quite the aggressive cover language.
Oh, you don't?
No, it's just a play on our pal Ricky Martin from back in the day, and I just say, "Welcome to Cover City." And that's it. Then it's stuck in your head the rest of the day.
All day. Yeah.
And she goes, "Damn it! Why'd you get that song stuck in my head?"
Yeah, I missed the Liberty Sam Houston game, and didn't have any action on that game, so I missed it. And then I'm glad. Hey, the pizza money did not work out on Robinson. And oh, by the way, Washington, you should be ashamed of yourself. What is that nonsense? They give up 40 points to the Bears? Sweet Jesus, that is a bad loss, man. Ron Rivera's in trouble.
They were not ready to play.
No.
They
looked very, very ill-equipped. I mean, that is
what, did they air it all out against Philly?
That's a tough look, man. That's a tough look. Speaking of Philly, lay the 4 against the Rams. The Rams have played over their heads so far, but these are tough roadies, man. Going back, oddly, they're playing at home, and it's a tough spot for them because they've had to go East Coast, and come back. That stadium will be filled with Eagles fans because the Rams don't have home field.
That's correct.
And I think it's an ass kicking. I'm taking the Eagles -4. I'm feeling good about it.
That sounds like a 40-unit play.
No, I just placed it before the start of the show, so we're good. We are good.
That's true. So I roll in. There's Zaxby's on the table. You're sitting with John, the general manager of the station, munching, having a good time. And you say, Tom, I just put in a few things, and I'm thinking it's, maybe something about work. And you're like, all right, I've got the over in this one game. I'm laying the 4 with Philly and Los Angeles.
I had over 43.5 in the
Denver.
What game was that? Denver Jets game.
Denver Jets game. Yeah.
I went over there.
That's the first order of business.
Yeah, we got it. We're good to go. So listen up, guys, really quickly. A busy show today, as always. First and foremost, we have Lee Sterling coming on the show. We'll see what he picks this week. He had 3 good weeks in a row. Stubbed his toe last week. I think he went 2 and 3. Anyhow, he's going to join us, and we'll see who's – I didn't even look to see which games he had right now, so I'm kind of excited to see that. And then also in the next hour, of course, we have our fun with the Red Zone. I have no idea what questions you've come up
that makes 2 of us.
Come up with for me, so I'm looking for that. And then third, I would tell you that my mom comes in, and she's got a lead on me. Now, I want the court to rule. And I'm going to let you – no, listen. I'm going to let you and Matthew be the court here. So when we placed our wagers last week, you remember this, Matthew. You were around. Okay, we had 2 different. I think, Cleveland over – no, I don't think I know. I had Cleveland over Baltimore. I picked the upset. I picked Cleveland to win that game. At that time, Deshaun Watson was starting the game fresh off his best game in a Cleveland uniform. He had never played better than he did the week previous.
You want a mulligan?
No, hold on.
Okay.
So that Thursday, there was no inkling of an injury or anything like it. So I take Cleveland. 10 minutes before kickoff, they announced Deshaun Watson, who, by the way, this is absurd, took himself out of the game. The doctor said he was good to go. And he said, nope. Back feels a little tight, and didn't play. Now, man, that's a no-no in the NFL. Think about the injuries that tackles and linebackers and running backs play with. I got my man out here saying, no, I'm not doing it. Anyhow, in my office pool, Tom, I decided to switch the deal, and you can do that right before kickoff. I took Baltimore. I switched it up. Mom's claiming victory there. She's like, I beat you 2-0. And I said, well, I don't know about all that. I mean, at the Thursday that we made the bet, at the time we made the bet, he was a go. The starting quarterback is important. You would change your bet. Anybody would change their bet if the starting quarterback was pulled from the game.
Okay, so director has made his ruling, and he goes with the Caesar thumbs down.
Well, he was going to do that anyhow. He just wants my mom to win. This is a partial jury here. This is not. He wouldn't even be on the jury if I had my choice.
Not a way to get impartiality out of me. I would say, and there it is. It's on the screen with Joaquin. I would say if you're willing to henceforth turn off every single bet that you have with a late starting quarterback scratch, one way or the other, it has to be uniform. Then perhaps we can allow for this particular one to slide. But it's got to be every single quarterback is scratched on a Sunday or a Saturday night situation. Henceforth, that it's just a no bet. It's a no bet.
P. Simpson, you were betting with a betting service or a bookie. And if you have a bookie, he damn sure would allow you to take back the bet if, oh, yes, if I bet with a bookie on Tuesday that I'm taking Cleveland, and then Thursday they announce that he's in a car crash and dead, I can call the bookie and be like, hey, man, the quarterback died. What are we doing here?
I'm going to actually text somebody who might know a thing or two about this.
I think,
see what they say.
Well, it depends on your bookie, who you're dealing with. Come on, man, that's ridiculous. In that scenario, starting quarterback's dead and I can't take it back?
Well, Deshaun's not dead.
But he might as well be. He's not playing. It's the same as if he was dead.
The precedent would have to be set moving forward that every one of these different bets moving forward is turned off and not allowed. No counties, no nothing.
We're gonna ask Lee Sterling when we get a chance. Now, what we have here is about 7 minutes.
I gave you a good ruling, and you're not satisfied with it.
I don't. Why do I have to listen? No, we don't. We'll argue about this later. Here's the thing. We've got a segment that Ira interviewed, and I'm excited to see it. Or Aswan did the interview. Okay, Aswan did the interview. And the people that allowed for us to go over to Ireland and really made us feel at home and do a great job with our game that's going to be played there at Aviva Stadium are in town. And they are coming to the Virginia Tech game. And these are ambassadors for college and pro football in Dublin, Ireland. And we got to meet these guys, and we got to talk to so many of them, and they were fantastic. And Ireland's a country that is becoming infatuated with college and pro football. It's really quite cool. I got to see it up close and personal. Now they're here this weekend, and obviously they're trying to get people to sign up to go over there to Ireland. You either will or you won't. I mean, that's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do. But that stadium's awesome. That city's awesome. And these people were awesome. And they had a chance to sit down with Aslan. We're going to play a little clip from that. And then when we come back, we will have Lee Sterling join us. Wouldn't you want to do it in the second hour? All right, we'll do it in the second hour then. I saw the panic look on your face.
We're out of time.
All right, we'll do it in the second hour then. But yeah, it'll be fun. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Someone who thought texting was a better idea than stopping for a traffic light slams into your rear bumper. Now your back is injured and you've got to be at work and rehab all without a car. I'm Jimmy Fasig at Fasig Brooks. We hear stories like this every day. You shouldn't pay for someone else's mistake. Call us at 850-777-7777 and we'll make sure you come back stronger.
Power Mill Training Academy equips motivated athletes focused on baseball and softball with the specific tools to reach their true potential. Now, you'll read that if you go to their website, but I'm here to tell you that, look, whether it's your daughter wanting to play softball, your son wants to play baseball, or maybe they just want to have fun and get the most out of their abilities, and that's where Power Mill comes into play. They've got coaches and camps that teach for every level of play for your son or your daughter. To learn more, go to PowerMillSports.com.
A bed of Zaxby's crinkle fries, hand-breaded chicken, hardwood smoked bacon, and buttermilk ranch. It's the perfect comfort food. Pillow sold separately. Chicken bacon ranch loaded fries. Woo, saucy!
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all creeks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
The leaves are starting to fall. The temperatures will start to fall. And the prices are falling right now at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas. Incredible dealer discounts up to $5,000 are available on all hot spring spas. The industry leader in hot tubs and spas. If you've never experienced the sensation and relaxation of having your own hot tub in your backyard on a cool evening, you're truly missing out. The cold months are coming, and now's the time to set yourself up for the best winter season you've ever had. Plus, you'll gain the added health benefits of reduced stress, relief of sore muscles, and better sleep. You'll feel so relaxed after a nice soak in your new hot spring spa. You'll experience some of the best sleep of your life. Head over to Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas on Greer Road and check out their huge showroom packed with the best selection of hot tubs and spas available. And ask about getting up to $5,000 in discounts, low interest financing, and a free accessory to make your hot tub dreams come true. If you're ready to relax, Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas is ready to show you how.
Your next chance to splash into some cash with Swain Pools and Spas to win $1,000 is coming up at 2 p.m. Listen out for the keyword, and all you got to do is text the keyword for a chance to win $1,000.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Wanting my mom to beat me in the head-to-head wagers that we've been engaged in for like 20 years. And so, I got it.
Okay, so I've got some insight from a guy, and the guy says if it's before the game starts,
yes,
that you make the call, you generally can.
Yes,
this person has done it in Vegas before, so this is good for you, but it depends on the book. Some will say them's the breaks.
That's
because
correct.
They're not going to call you and ask to turn off the bet if it went the other way.
Right. What I'm saying is they're reasonable. Most people understand the starting quarterback is a big deal, and it's not in the game. Like, I'm screwed. The game starts, opening play, he drops back to pass and gets decapitated. And now they play the entirety of that game without their starting quarterback. I'm screwed. That's just them's is the breaks at that point.
Right. But also
before the game.
I think if there's speculation of a game time decision, then that's also a different animal.
Fair.
Altogether.
I agree with that. I agree. There was no speculation. There were no hints. He practiced all week. He didn't miss a single day. Nobody talked about an injury whatsoever.
He woke up on the wrong side of the massage bed.
Correct. And then the next thing you know, my man's standing over here opting out of the game. Back's a little tight.
Is the league going to make the final call on this?
We're going to ask him. Yeah, I am curious what he says. Actually, we stumbled into an interesting discussion in this sense, because I do know it's different book by book. I also know it's different, on the illegal side of things. If you're dealing with an actual bookie, I know it's different as well. But you got to, be able to, you got to know who you're dealing with.
I hinted to Lee what the question's going to be from you.
So he's with us now?
He is.
Lee Sterling, how are you, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. All right. So you got to answer this. We're having a debate. We're having a hotly contested debate here. Now, I get it's different. It's different if we're talking about books out in Vegas.
Yeah.
And as opposed to like Jerry, your next door neighbor, who's a bookie.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, look. Last week, I had a bet. I took Cleveland to upset Baltimore, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Deshaun Watson practiced every day last week. There was never a hint of injury. Nobody thought it was even a possibility. And 10 minutes before kickoff, he opted out. By the way, the doctors cleared him to play. And he said, no, my back's a little sore. I'm not going to play. All right. My argument was that if you're with the right bookie or the right person, you can call in that moment and say, look, man, obviously I made this bet thinking that the starting quarterback was going to play. My man's opted out. They haven't kicked off yet. He didn't get hurt in the game. He just chose not to play. I want to take the bet off the board.
No, not in any circumstance I've ever heard of it. If he's your best friend or you have a great relationship with him, maybe. But similar situation with Kansas last week against Texas. Their quarterback Daniels, fine all week. Now, he has had back issues.
He's had back issues.
He threw his back out in the walkthrough, believe it or not. And they announced it, I think, an hour before the game, or maybe even 30 minutes. They told, I think, Jason Bean an hour before the game, but they didn't release the public until the game started, or right before the kickoff. So,
yeah, I would just – it's interesting. You get 10 minutes before a game, the starting quarterback opts out, and there were no hint of it whatsoever.
And both those players are the difference from them to the second stringer is at least a touchdown.
Yeah, man. That's I guess I got a good relationship with my bookie because
your bookie lets you cancel the wait.
Yeah, and look, man, here's the thing: if you book with a guy for years and years and years, and you're good for it both ways, who's going to be an ass and not allow you to do that? That's crazy.
No, I think it's great. I have never had a relationship like that with any of my bookmakers, and I know for a fact offshore or in Vegas.
I know you can't. Well, I know in Vegas there are a very select few that would let you do it before kickoff, but very few. And
that's an interesting, question you posed, and we're seeing it. You rarely see that in the NFL, but in college they are really hiding injuries more than they've ever done.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's tougher. It's tougher when you're betting games, and so with the transfer portal, it makes it tougher. It used to be you knew who the quarterback was going to be, 8 months before, pretty much, unless one of the third stringer beat out the second stringer.
Right.
Now I'm watching tapes, and you have no clue sometimes until you watch the first game.
It's fun. It's interesting. It is. And the more that we see betting restrictions loosen up around the country, and the more that it's legal state to state to state to state, as opposed to just, say, Jersey and Vegas, I'm wondering how this affects what's reported in college football moving forward. People are betting on these games like they're the NFL.
Yeah.
And, the NFL is in bed with all of these gambling books and all of these DraftKings and, all that. They make all kinds of money off the commercials. This is
right.
They owe it to their customers to tell everybody who's hurt and who's not. That's why they have an injury report. I bet we're going in that direction for college.
If something happens, now these were, it seems like last week, and I'm taking their word for it, in the Kansas and also the Cleveland Browns situation with Daniels and Deshaun Watson. I think they were isolated incidents. I think they are things that happened late. So I'm going to trust them that they didn't know about it earlier. But if they know about it, I'm tired of looking at an injury report, Jeff, and seeing 7 or 8 guys listed as questionable.
Right. Yeah.
That's a joke. That's a joke.
All right, brother, here we go. The games are intriguing this week. I mean, across the board. I love every one of the games that you're previewing for us. Every one of them I've got action on. Georgia minus 14.5 against Kentucky. The public is probably, I haven't checked this morning, but my guess is the public is all over Kentucky here.
Right.
Who do you like?
I think you're picking up where I'm going to go.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you took Georgia.
I did. Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. So I did I think might be the same reason. Kentucky ran for 329 yards.
And they ain't running for 320 yards against Georgia.
And yeah, that's it. Auburn ran big time against Georgia. But see, the average person is just going to look at raw numbers. A lot of handicappers do this too. There's some handicappers, believe it or not, Jeff, that will tell you, they'll be honest, they don't even watch the games. Well, that's why I think they're making a mistake. Different types of attacks.
Mm-hmm.
this Auburn team did it. Their quarterbacks, Peyton Thorne and Robbie Ashford, ran wild. They don't have to worry about that with Devin Leary.
That's
Not a
correct.
runner. 9 for 20 for only 69 passing yards last week. He just doesn't look like he is feeling comfortable in this offensive system here, even though Ray Davis might be the best running back right now in the country. I expect Ladd McConkey. A lot of people will play a key player coming back the first game. Most experienced handicappers will play a key player like McConkey or a quarterback in the second game. That's when they usually do their best. In Kentucky, 3 of the last 6 times they played Georgia, they didn't even reach 10 points here. Georgia, 34-13.
I love it. Alabama -2 against Texas A&M. Intriguing for a lot of reasons, and I can make arguments on both sides. What's the argument you're going to make?
I think Jimbo and Nick are talking at the 50-yard line about where their family's going to meet up for summer.
Like they used to?
Vacation.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Probably not. So you study things pretty well and usually are pretty close. Guess how many times the Alabama quarterback's been sacked in 5 games this year?
Oh, good God. I actually don't know that, Lee. You caught me here because
Take a guess.
In 5 games?
Yeah, 5 games.
How many times he's been sacked? 10.
I thought it was 12 to 14. 20.
Woo!
They rank 125th in sacks. Remember, they graduated a couple kids. Maybe their best returning lineman went to Miami, Cohen. This Texas A&M defense, I think the defensive line might be one of the top 3-4 in the country. They got all kinds of 5-stars in that lineup. And I think they're coming of age right now. Miami was lucky to play them at the time they did. And they are number 4 in the country with 20 sacks. Alabama's defense is better since that Texas game, giving up just 30 points over the last 3 games. But A&M's is even better than that, 28 over the last 3. And they played the best team of the 6 that those defenses faced, Arkansas. I like Max Johnson's experience here. Like the fact that A&M won at home in 2021. If they get 1 yard last year, if they give the ball to A-Chain, I think they end up winning the game last year, which they lost 24-20. And they're 3-0-1 against the spread the last 4, the home dog. Wrong team favored, A&M 24-20. Take A&M?
I did. Yeah, we're 2 for 2. We're on fire here, brother. All right, now this is the real test for you.
Yep.
I'm curious to see what side you're on. You got Notre Dame laying 5.5 against Louisville. I think Notre Dame, by the way, I'm just going to tell you, I'll give away my pick.
Yep.
I think Notre Dame's a lot better than Louisville, but I'm worried about the spot. So give me your thoughts on the 5.5.
I don't know if when you look at Notre Dame, I think the public is going to think that. But I think Notre Dame is one of these teams and their quarterback that they just can get up for almost every single game. So I'm going to back Sam Hartman. I think the kid's a gamer here. Getting back possibly 2 receivers for this game, That's important. I think Louisville's one of these teams that's better than we thought. They can beat the bad teams, beat the brakes out of them. They just can't beat the real good teams here. I like Notre Dame here, 30-20.
3 for 3, brother. We're rolling on Big River. Here we go. All right, Florida State's laying 24 against Virginia Tech. Your thoughts?
Virginia Tech is bad. I mean, really bad.
That's correct.
So, you know what's interesting? When I'm studying them in Georgia Tech and I study them back to back, both first names of both coaches are Brent. So might not be around too much longer. When we go back 10 years from now, we may not remember who the coaches were in 2023. They got to face Pitt last week. Jerkovic is an absolute statue back there. They have not faced a mobile quarterback this year, and that's a big-time problem. They have no athleticism. Running back, receiver, linebacker, defensive backs. Their special teams aren't even anything special. They used to be really good. They were number 61 in the country last year out of 132 teams. I'm going to take Florida State and lay the lumber here. I think they win 45-20.
4 for 4, brother. Buffalo -5 against Jacksonville. Now, a lot of people will pick Jacksonville because they're already over there. They play in London like it's their other home field. And you know, it's a weird spot game. But I like Buffalo here. Who do you like?
5 for 5.
Okay, boom.
You can't. This is crazy. I don't think you can go against this team right now.
Nope.
Buffalo's much better at home. Miami ran into, a buzzsaw last week. But when Josh Allen is on a roll, just don't go against the guy. 5 touchdown passes last week, completed 84% of his passes here. They are much more talented. Watch Jacksonville. A lineman will make every play. There's someone missing a block, or a receiver runs a route a little too shallow. They're just not the same this year. And you would have thought they would have been much better with Calvin Ridley here. I like Buffalo here, 31-21.
Yeah, I like Buffalo too. And the problem I have with Jacksonville too, they don't rush the passer. They don't get after the quarterback at all. And you're going to let Josh Allen sit back there with these weapons? You're dead.
That cannon?
Yeah. North Carolina, Syracuse is your free play. I also love this game. I also have action in this game. I'll have to text you to see if we actually win 6
games you have action on.
Oh, 20 at least this weekend.
Wow.
It's a good weekend, brother. It's a good weekend. But North Carolina giving 8.5 Syracuse. How can folks get that game, Lee?
Yep, they want to get it for free. I have a real strong opinion on this game, too. Be one of the first 10 callers, 800-400-9741. North Carolina, Syracuse is on me. Again, the number 800-400-9741. And what kind of roll we've been on? 34-13 the last month, the last 4 weeks since the start of the season, 40-18. You want to get, we don't call it October, call it Locktober. You want to get 4 weeks of action through Halloween night, just $297. Go to the website. Also, UFC, 5 for $35 going Saturday afternoon at 4. And then also baseball through the World Series. We're 42-20 since September 1st, just $97. Get it all for free. I also have a bunch of other free pick videos. You want to find out who I like in Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Illinois, also Ohio State, Maryland. Check out those videos, ParamountSports.com, and I'm now on TikTok. My kids, my 2 girls, finally prodded me enough.
Oh, that hurts.
TikTok at Paramount Sports.
I may have to make my kids put me on TikTok, and they can control it, but I don't trust them. They'll have me out here looking like a fool, like Dabo Sweeney. Hey, by the way, just out of curiosity, who do you like in Illinois, Nebraska?
I like Nebraska, plus the 3.5.
I believe that fans going to that game should be paid.
It might be 10-7 final.
Be good, brother. Good talking.
Watching, like, I think they're going to play Jeff Sims. I think they're going to put him in. I mean, that's the best they could come up with out of the transfer portal.
Come on, man.
He's the only guy that might get him in the end zone.
They both suck. Both those quarterbacks are terrible. It's hard to watch both those teams. It's just awful.
Yeah.
Be good, brother.
All right, bud.
Talk to you soon. Fun day with Lee Sterling there, man. Paramount Sports, ParamountSports.com. This is the best betting weekend of the year so far. I mean, there are so many games. Now, there are weekends, just so people know. There are weekends, and you know this. Right? There's like maybe 1 bet, 2 bets, combined NFL college, where I'm like, yeah, Cards week this week. I don't see any value that I just have to jump on. But then there are weekends like this, where you have to kind of show restraint, because I could bet 30 games this week. I've got an opinion on that many games. I started 1 for 1. We're off to a good start with Western Kentucky, but it's interesting.
I just like how somewhere in this town, in a middle school, Clark has his Bluetooth on and he's listening to right now.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Dad's got 30?
No, I don't have 30, son. I could.
Go back to class.
I might end up betting 30 games. It's what
he's setting his lines based on Lee's picks every week in his locker.
Oh, goodness gracious. By the way, I'll take Colorado in that Colorado-Arizona State game, since you're asking persistent Jordan. Arizona State is all banged up. The Fighting Kenny Dillinghams are a mess.
Fighting Bamboos.
It's tough. Tough to be an Arizona State fan right now. They got the 1 win. At least he's got 1. That may be the only one he gets.
It was a close one.
I know. It's tough times. And I like Arizona State. I have always had a thing. I love it. And especially when they embrace the evil and they have the pitchfork and it's nice. Yes, get after it.
Why don't they plant that at midfield?
They should.
With a devil.
It would be awesome.
You know, every one of these schools now has the lights that turn completely dark and stadium,
have it pitch
which
black.
I feel is dangerous.
Pitch black, Slayer. Turn on the lights as he slams the pitchfork in.
How about a red spotlight on midfield?
Oh,
and
buddy.
He emerges
this
into
is the coolest.
Spotlight.
This would surpass us. The devil in a real good devil suit, a scary devil suit with a red pitchfork and the red thing, and Rain and Blood by Slayer as they come out.
And then sometimes you could alternate. Like
With
the devil
minions.
comes out in like a tuxedo. And
Oh,
man,
look at this.
look at
It's
this.
a special night.
It's corporate devil.
Sun Devil Stadium's ready to go nuts. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
New details were confirmed Thursday regarding a sewage main break that occurred Sunday morning in northeast Tallahassee. 970,000 gallons of untreated domestic wastewater were released as a result of the sewage main break. The city reported the amount that was spilled to the Department of Health, Department of Environmental Protection, and Northwest Florida Water Management District Monday evening. Water quality sampling is reportedly taking place daily to determine the wastewater and stormwater quality, as well as the impact. The sewage main break that occurred Sunday morning caused 2 southbound lanes of Capitol Circle Northeast near Mahan Drive to close. Crews were able to stop the overflow just before noon. City crews worked through the night on repairs, cleanup, recovery, and restoration. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. High temperatures reach up to 84 this afternoon under cloudy skies, north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, lows dip down to about 68, highs around 82 tomorrow, a blend of clouds and sun. Dry with temperatures below average Sunday and Monday, and highs from the mid-70s to the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 78.
What do you need tires on? Your car or truck, tractor or heavy equipment? At Nice Tire and Auto Service, we have tires for all of these needs. And we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Is that what is the pork?
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Go to ParamountSports.com.
You on North Carolina?
I am on North Carolina.
Yeah.
You probably are too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This seems like Syracuse is following a trend that they always follow, right? Kind of get off to a decent start. People start thinking, oh, look at Syracuse, and then they suck.
It feels about right. Hopefully that continues into next week, and they're hopeless because North Carolina puts them down. They get on the plane down here, go through the motions, and we have a lot of backups in the second half.
Well, this is why they're 4-0 or 3-1 every year. They played Colgate, Western Michigan, Purdue, and Army to start their season. Yeah, they're 4-0. And then they turned around and played Clemson and got demolished, 31-14. They'll probably get demolished by North Carolina, and then they're devoid of hope, as you just pointed out. They come to Tallahassee, take this ass kicking.
Hopefully. That Clemson game was a little nip and tuck in the second half, though. It's a turnover deep in their own territory that kind of springs it for Clemson to put it away. But then again, Clemson's in a rough spot, coming off an emotional game at home, a loss, really physical, and then you go play a nooner at Syracuse, which is never easy to do.
Yeah, as far as the way it played out, it was a little clunky, but they were up 24-7. I mean,
They were.
It's not like, the game was not in doubt. I know that's not what you're implying, but just so people know, the game was not in doubt.
I'm just saying that, it wasn't 52-7.
Yeah.
As it has been a lot of times for Syracuse.
Yeah. And Garrett Schrader's a big, strong dude, but he is not running like one right now. Nope. He wanted no part of running against Clemson. Although I understand that's a wise move, Garrett. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to run around against Clemson.
It's a lot of thunder.
It's a lot of thunder, and they have linebackers that should be here. I mean, that they have that kind of talent at that position, and it drives me nuts. Now, I will say our starting duo have played pretty well at linebacker. They still struggle in coverage, but yes.
Well, the only thing, to me, the largest concern is that Kalen at times will overvalue his speed with the angles he will take. Like there's a run, actually it was the 2nd and 25 against Clemson. It's a great example. So it's a swing pass. The receiver gets, away with holding galore, but Kalen has a chance to make that play and force it back towards the middle. There is one guard or tackle out there in space as an escort, and Kalen takes a path closer to the backfield than around the front and the face of the offensive lineman because he thinks he can get there. And it's just, no, man, you're really fast. You're not that fast. And that's a difference between, I think it was, 3rd and 7 at that point. It's an 18-yard gain that should have been maybe 6 or 7 if you took the right angle, and he does that a lot.
It's frustrating. I feel like he's very much a hit-and-miss player. When he's good, he's really good. When he's bad, he's pretty bad.
Well, and you get into that tackle zone, he's a really good tackler, but he's just got to get in that position to finish the play.
Well, one of the reasons Lundy doesn't play nearly as much as a lot of people think he should is he really bites on any sort of play fake. It's like...
Well, and he loses leverage a lot.
A ton.
Yeah. So that's, not great. And then the 4th down, this one really hurt because it was 4th and 1.5 yards against Clemson. I know I'm going back to that game twice, but 2 good examples. Get downhill. Like, that's another thing that Virginia Tech is going to test. They're going to do a lot of stuff with the laterals and communication and positioning. But then also, you got to make a decision to come downhill and make a play. And that's where I'm the most disappointed in Knowles. Like, if you want to talk about communication issues because he missed a lot of camp,
correct.
All right, I can hear that a little bit, but not getting downhill and triggering and making a play because his freshman year, that's all he did.
But by the way, when he does trigger, he does not make the tackle.
That's been a problem.
He struggles to tackle. Just period. There's no caveat to that. He struggles to tackle people.
He didn't from the slot in his freshman year. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. I think there's an outside chance. And I'm glad that we don't have to wait, do we, again? Is there another day of waiting for baseball?
It's tomorrow. Yeah, not today.
Nothing today?
Nada.
You're missing opportunity. I know they could not have expected everybody to sweep, but damn it, man.
No, but you can start the division series and not go against college football.
Correct.
Yes.
That's stupid. But I think it's worth perhaps taking a little bit of a surprise look at the Diamondbacks to beat the Dodgers. And I'll tell you something else. Think about if you're a Dodger fan, how frustrated you are. I just pulled this up because I knew the numbers were pretty staggering, but I didn't realize they were this bad. The Dodgers rotation should be, but is not. Walker Buehler, out for the year, Tommy John. Dustin May, out for the year, shoulder surgery. Tony Gonsolin, out for the year, Tommy John. Julio Urias, out for the year, being investigated for domestic violence for a second time. Career's probably over. Clayton Kershaw missed 2.5 months. His shoulder's clearly screwed up. He tops out at 87. They're ripe for the beating. They have got problems, buddy. And what a shame.
The old D-backs Phillies NLCS?
It would just be so weird, but it'd be a classic. And by the way, they signed Noah Syndergaard, which, as you well know, did not work out.
I called that before he left New York. It's not a starter. Should have converted him to a setup man or a closer. Would have had a better career.
So, think about this. They Emmett Sheehan or something is going to have to start in game 3 for them. They got nothing.
So you would be Burgess Meredith in the stands in Arizona. You got nothing.
Yeah, well,
you bums.
I think I'm kind of hinting at something here. Well, you got some pretty good odds for Arizona. Pretty good odds. It's baseball.
It's Redemption Friday.
Well, I'm just saying it's baseball, so you do what you will. It's crazy. Phillies Braves is going to be awesome. Going to be awesome.
It's high octane.
I don't like, I get we added extra teams and the playoffs can't go on forever. I don't think once we get to this point, we need to be playing 3 out of 5.
Oh, you think the DS should be best
Yes,
of 7?
4 out of 7. Yes. It's baseball, man. We don't want shortened situations like this. 4 out of 7.
Yeah, the only way you can make that work is if the season begins, say, March 20th or 25th, somewhere in there. You'd have to start it that early.
I meant to mention this before the end of the hour, and so I'm not going to forget. But rest in peace, Dick Butkus.
Oh, man.
Saw that yesterday, and the legend of Dick Butkus is pretty phenomenal, given that if you're a man of a certain age, then you grew up watching NFL films, and you listen to Steve Sable and John Facenda do Chicago highlights of yesteryear and watch a guy like Dick Butkus just destroying people and as a quintessential middle linebacker. Like there's no other middle linebacker in the history of football that you would name before you would name Dick Butkus. There may have been guys that were better.
Yeah.
But you would that's like almost universally true. People would be like, oh, well, Dick Butkus. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Taxes are too high. Spending is too high. Why did Matt Gaetz join Nancy Pelosi, AOC, and over 200 Democrats in killing the Republican plan to cut Washington spending and strengthen the border? Because Matt Gaetz would rather promote himself than protect taxpayers from runaway government spending. Conservative Republicans had a deal to cut spending by 8% and restore Trump's Remain in Mexico policy. The plan would have protected taxpayers and our borders. But Matt Gaetz killed it. Matt Gaetz spends too much time chasing TV cameras and not enough time working together with conservatives to rein in Washington spending. Call Matt Gaetz at 850-479-1183 and tell him to stop voting with Democrats and start siding with Florida taxpayers. Paid for by Americans for Tax Reform. Learn more. Visit atr.org/cut spending.
This is The Swamp.
Play action, pocket closing.
Line 2228 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Don't go anywhere.
Your chance to win $1,000 is coming up next on Real Talk 93.3 WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee.
From our guys in the desert.
Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday meeting the Buffalo Bills in London. Bills are the 5.5-point favorite, 48.5 the total at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Travis Etienne rushing prop bet of the board for the Jaguars, 63.5 rushing yards. Also Sunday, the Atlanta Falcons, a 1.5 home favorite against the Houston Texans. College football tomorrow, Florida laying 18 at home at Vanderbilt, the total 52 at the Swamp. Florida 21-1 against Vanderbilt since 1960. The loss a year ago, 31-24 in Nashville. Florida State laying 23.5 at home against Virginia Tech. Get your free VSiN subscription right now at VSIN.com. For more sports betting news and information, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, Real Talk 93.3.
Yo, J Balvin here. Verizon just hooked me up with a new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium. How can you get one? By switching to my plan at the Verizon store, get the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro on them. When you trade in any iPhone, any model, any condition, guaranteed. And listen to my new song, Dientes, on your way to get the new iPhone 15 Pro.
Don't miss out. Switch to my plan from Verizon today. It's your Verizon. $999.99, 128 gigabyte only device payment purchase or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on unlimited ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in or promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR.
Explore 50% off everything for a limited time. Now through October 9th at Banana Republic Factory. Save on elevated fall essentials, polished occasion wear, and more. Only at your nearest Banana Republic Factory store.
Juice Reel, the betting intelligence tool that's making better bettors. Open the App Store and get your hands on Juice Reel. Juice, R-E-E-L. Juice Reel. Juice, R-E-E-L.
This is Jamie McClenny of Trek Financial, co-host of Cover Your Assets here on Real Talk 93.3. Since three of the largest bank failures in U.S. history last March, the S&P 500 is up over 10% as D.C. politicians added an additional $1.5 trillion in spending after raising the debt ceiling. This rally has been extremely narrow as a handful of mega cap stocks are responsible for over 70% of the gain on the S&P 500 year to date. The yield on the 10-year Treasury has been below the 3-month rate for over 200 trading days, the longest streak in 6 decades. As one economist quipped, ignore these signals at your own risk. Managing downside risk is one of the biggest challenges that you will face in retirement, but a clearly defined risk management protocol can help to mitigate large drawdowns in your retirement nest egg. If you're concerned about where all of this might be headed, give me a call at 850-900-5200 and schedule an office visit to discover the risk in your current portfolio.
Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's time to splash into cash with Swain Pools and Spas. Here is your next keyword.
Credit. C-R-E-D-I-T. Credit. C-R-E-D-I-T. Credit.
Text that keyword now to 508-777-1000. That's 508-777-1000 for your chance to win $1,000. Sponsored by Swain Pools and Spas.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stadium, get loud. Watch Florida State hopefully round into form. They've been able to get by because they're talented and they work hard and they're gutsy and they have a lot of toughness, both physically and mentally. But they haven't played their best football, and what an opportunity now to do that, to go out and play well and see it come together. And if it happens, I think we're going to all kind of breathe a sigh of relief because what's in there is really good. They got to get it out. They got to get it to come out. They've got to be able to play and utilize all the pieces because they have answers across the board. And they're better than most from a talent standpoint. There might be a few teams that you would take the talent over Florida State. That's true. I'm not here to say that Florida State's the most talented team in the country. But they have an enviable amount of talent, especially at the skill positions. And if you're able – let's face it, the game of football is an awful lot about quarterback play. And you got a kid who's played a gazillion snaps for you, and he has not played his best football either due to injury or – perhaps forcing the issue a little bit with a couple of superstar guys on the outside. But if he gets right and this thing gets balanced and they find a way to put it all together, Florida State's really good. And then if you're Virginia Tech, it could be a very bad day to have to come in here and face a team that's rested, that's been able to assess what they've done poorly, fix it, and get out there and execute. This could go south in a hurry.
It's the other thing about being the target on your back, the team with the target on your back, like Florida State had for decades, which is whatever you see on film is not what you're going to see, at least at the beginning of a game, because they know that this is their game. Forget who said it this week, but they were correct. This is my game to get noticed. I think it was Braden Fisk. He was talking
He's
to the
already
media.
noticed, but yeah.
No, but like in terms of when he was at Western and he played in a game such as Virginia Tech is about to play, they know that more eyeballs are on the TV sets, more scouts are watching for somebody else, but they might just see you. And so whatever you see the best of Virginia Tech is against Pitt specifically, which is the most recent game, there's going to be better moments than that because they know that you require them to go to a different level. Now, if you can stamp out that fire within a quarter, then we're done here. But there's going to they ran gadgets against Pitt. They didn't believe that they could win straight up in the trenches against Pitt. They had reverses. They had a flea flicker. I would expect all kinds of weird stuff out of them, not just this, triple option or zone reads to try and get our linebackers flowing one way or the other. You're going to see outright gadgets against Virginia Tech tomorrow.
Good. I hope it goes terribly for them. And a lot of times you get too cute and turn the ball over and things really begin to avalanche quickly. Let's hope this team's playing fast, playing hungry, that there's an edge to them. By the way, I see that people are excited to see Blake Nicholson. I think you're going to tomorrow. I think you will see him play because I think Florida State's going to get up. By the way, you will not, in all likelihood, get an opportunity to see Brock Glenn play. People ask about that.
That'd be something.
That would be something. No, that's probably not going to happen. But, before the season's end, you might, but not tomorrow.
Circle that North Alabama game.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get a little further down the road before we see Brock. He's been obviously dealing with something. So he's fine. And, he's going to be all right. But, yeah, it just stinks. One game he gets in, gets a little dinged, and there you are, But got to be careful because he's probably your future.
Your immediate future.
Your immediate future, yeah. So should be fun there. I do suspect that Florida State will play well, and I can't wait to get to the stadium. I like to rush through days. I like to be in the moment, Tom. I like to enjoy my company, be around people that I love, and interact with them, and not try to speed things along. But I'm anxious for this game. I want this to be Saturday at 3:30. Now, we'll be doing the pregame show at Hotel Indigo, and we won't speed through that. We will sit down and enjoy ourselves, and I hope that you guys get an opportunity if you're in town, maybe just get into town. Stop by Hotel Indigo, 826 West Gain Street there in Tallahassee, right across from the intramural fields where all of it's happening in College Town. Get up on that 7th floor and enjoy some tasty beverages and some good food and the view, as well as the content from Tom and I. And then, of course, the post-game show with you and Gene starting roughly 10 to 15 minutes after the game ends is always a good listen to. And there you go.
It feels like we're coming off of a bye week. Like I understand that tomorrow's a game day, but you're starting to get that machine revving again. And this is a big push here. These 3 straight home games, the opportunity to get some momentum going. And look, I would have preferred that the first month of the season, 4-0 is 4-0. You'll take it.
You take it. You're damn
I would
right
have preferred that they did the 2013 act and
just boat race everybody.
Yeah. But then this week, since in that scenario, this week you'd be like, oh, all right, glad they're home. And that would be the extent of it. Glad they're home. Hope we get backups in beginning in the middle of the second
But
quarter.
there's real intrigue about tomorrow.
I am fascinated.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it could go wrong. They could end up still having question marks after this game, likely in victory.
Yeah.
But they could have real question marks, and I'm really looking forward to a time where that's not the case. And I think they got a chance tomorrow to kind of put all that stuff behind them. For those that don't recall, Florida State 45-24, 66-13, 31-29, and 31-24. Your game scores up to now. What would look like a complete, well put together, big picture, offense, defense, great day at the office game to you? Is that a 37-3? Is that a, you know what, I'm willing to give up some points because we're going to pressure and take some chances, and we'll give up a few big plays doing so. So it's more like 48-17 or 24 or something like that?
I think 48-17. Yeah, that's more the style. 35-3 with as talented as this offense is, I think you might still be able to nitpick a little bit.
It'd be hard to gripe about 35-3, but yeah, I understand.
Not for Adam Fuller's side of the ball. I'm just saying that this offense is so gifted, and you want to see them be so explosive. The only way that a 35-3 would be, beyond reproach would be if Jordan Travis and the first team offense is out in the middle of the third quarter. And then it's 35-3 at that time. And there's no scoring the rest of the game.
Off, yeah.
Okay. All right. Understood. But you want to see consistency, but then the production out of the offense. They've had the production without the consistency, but let's see that consistency.
Suffice to say, it's really not about a score. It really isn't about a score. Yeah, sure. If you win 13-10, we've got problems. But it's not really about a score. It's about putting together and executing a really good game plan that has this balance. And I don't necessarily need it to be like, I'm not necessarily talking about run-pass balance. I'm talking about the utilization of weapons and where on the field that those guys have the opportunities that they're given here. Are you attacking the middle of the field? Do we see some balance between pocket throws and, design runs and those kinds of things? I'm waiting for the complete game in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, it could be 37-17, but you
did what you needed to do.
You messed around in the red zone a couple of times. And okay, so we're talking about the red zone, but between the 20s, we now saw a machine that is, it's not about splash plays. It's about 2nd and 4. And you're in 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 2 or in 3rd and 1 all game long. That would be a humongous difference because we could have a lower point total than we expect, but then you come in with the stats on Monday and talk about success rate, running the ball and success rate in 1st and 2nd down.
Yes.
And it could be a hell of a lot higher, which I think that's more important as long as you get the win.
Speaking of red zone, we've been so good in the red zone, coming away with points and namely touchdowns in the red zone. I heard a stat today. Look at some of these high-scoring games that the Dallas Cowboys have played in the NFL. I mean, they've really put up some big numbers, right? And it's kind of crazy. I went through this, by the way, for those that don't know. They beat the Giants 40-0. They scored 36 or whatever. Oh, the Jets 30-10. They lost 28-16, and then they won 38-3 over the Patriots. Yeah, the point would be they're 4 for their last 15 in the red zone.
What?
Yeah, touchdowns. They 4 for their last 15 in the red zone. That is awful.
And they're bludgeoning people by and large.
Right. So that game against San Francisco could be an all-time great game. I actually kind of think it's going to be an awesome game, but it does set up nicely.
Those are the early days of me learning what the NFL was that rivalry.
That's an 8:20 p.m. Sunday night. Let's get it on game. I may have to take a nap earlier in the day.
I'll see you out there.
I'll be ready to go. Let's go. It's going to be fun. But yeah, I think about our fans and how frustrated we get with little things like, not little things that matter, obviously, but if you think about third down defense, people get really, really mad about third down defense. That's universal. When you don't get off the field, everybody gets angry, and understandably so. And that includes our head coach. But then from there, you just think about how hard it is to execute in condensed space. Well, good God, they're 4 of 15. That's ridiculous. These are pros and they're loaded.
Yeah, there's no excuse.
That's awful. Imagine the numbers they'd put up if they actually converted in the red zone. Kind of scary. All right, I mentioned this last hour. I'm going to do it right now. Our friends from Ireland in town, Aswan talked to them. And, yeah, man, they're promoting the Ireland trip. We're not trying to get around anything. I'm not trying to fool you or anything like that. But this was an interview done yesterday and an opportunity to listen in what they have to say about football over in Ireland, where that is a country that is starting to fall in love with American football, both the NFL and college. This was, again, done yesterday by our staff member, Aslan Hajvendi. He does a great job.
Pork O'Kane, the co-founder of the Aer Lingus College Football Classic, also a restaurateur and a very experienced and successful businessman in Dublin, and we were joined by the Lord Mayor, which sounds 10 times cooler than just the mayor of Dublin, Dahi DeRochta. We appreciate you gentlemen being here. First off, welcome to Florida. Welcome to Tallahassee. How have things been so far, Mr. O'Kane?
Thank you. It's fantastic. We missed the rain. The weather seems too good for us, to be honest with you. But no, we got in. We flew into Orlando last night and drove down and got a good night's sleep. And we're just after seeing the team do some training, and we're just seeing your magnificent stadium next. So couldn't be better. Really good delegation here with us.
Mr. Rochta, you had 50,000 people out there for the game this past year for this one. What did it mean to see the city come alive for this game?
This game now is so important to Dublin City. I mean, you only had to look at what happened a few weeks ago in Dublin when we'd over 40,000 Americans come to the city. They came because the football on offer was really, really high quality, but also they came to experience everything that Dublin and Ireland has to offer. And it's been absolutely amazing. We're delighted to be here. We're delighted to be launching Game Day Zero for next year. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing to be over here.
Mr. O'Kane, you've put so much of your time into making this game take off. I mean, how gratifying is it to see not only the city of Dublin, the country of Ireland, but everybody abroad coming into town and taking such pleasure in this game?
Yeah, it's fabulous. When we started this journey, we could never imagine that this would be the third consecutive year where college football season starts in Dublin. To bring the Seminoles and Georgia Tech in next year is just, phenomenal. And Dublin has really taken to it. It's a sport. American football is a sport we're getting to know better through the NFL, but through college now, it's amazing. People are putting their colours on beforehand and are really coming out to these games as well and starting to support them. So it's developing the whole game over there, etc. But for you guys coming in, to town next year, I think Florida State and Georgia Tech can beat that Notre Dame record. I think more than 40,000 you can travel. I have a funny feeling it's just going to be all Florida State and a little bit of Georgia Tech all over Dublin next year.
For the quality of what the guys put together in terms of bringing people to the city, it's absolutely amazing. We shut down a street in the middle of Dublin and we had tens of thousands of people just enjoying culture, getting ready as part of one of the biggest tailgates. And as we said, I'm being told already that this game is tracking to be bigger numbers, and we're so excited to welcome everybody to Dublin. So my message to everybody is, come to Dublin next year, have an absolute ball, and hopefully then you guys will go and beat Georgia Tech.
Lord Mayor, you've been to Atlanta, you've made these trips to help push the game and let people know how exciting it can be. Why is it important to get out and come to the States and I guess interact with some of these fan bases?
Well, it's important so people realise just how great an experience Game Day Zero now is when people come to Dublin. There's going to be over 80,000 people in the stadium for Saturday night's game or Saturday afternoon's game. That's exciting. It's exciting to get out there, to let them know everything that's going on offer. And it also gives them a chance to really get on the road, to get outside of the US and to come to Europe and support their team. So I think it's win-win for absolutely everybody, and that's why we're so excited to be involved in this. We think it's great, and it's just growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger every year. So I think next year is going to be absolutely amazing.
What do you get out of these visits, Mr. O'Kane?
So, the theme of the games is much more than a game. So while we're here, it's not just looking, yes, there's a football game coming to Ireland next year, but it's the academic side, it's the business side, it's how we make a connection with the state of Florida. 2.5 million people in your last census claimed Irish ancestors. So it's keeping that connection and growing it and bringing it to the next level. So, it's a week of programme that will happen in Dublin next year from the academic, the business side, the networking. And it's not all about, Dahi will hate me saying this, but it's not all about Dublin. People will come in and they'll see our beautiful country. They'll stay 3 or 4 nights in Dublin and 3 or 4 nights around the country. So it's their vocation in relation to how they come in. So to us, to answer your question, this is about making serious long-term connections with the state of Florida, the university. But we're starting to Irishize things like tailgates and pep rallies and making sure you guys are home away from home. And how do we take what you normally do from tailgating, for example, and how do we, open up our streets like Temple Bar and Dame Street and turn them into real fun. So while we're talking the serious side of it, there's really a fun side. This is about a holiday. And by the way, it'll probably rain at some stage during your visit. So the weather you'll be going through at the end of August next year in Ireland is nice and cool and a little bit of rain, a bit of sunshine, etc. But there's a serious part of a game and there's a fun part of a family holiday, and that's where we've tried to balance in together, and that's what much more in the game, and that's what the Aer Lingus College Football Series is all about.
Lord Mayor, if there's anything we haven't touched upon, just the pride that Dublin's taken with this game and your excitement to host more.
And just to see Dubliners getting involved and welcoming particularly the guys coming from Florida. Pork will tell you, we had 2 fantastic pep rallies as well ahead of the games there a few weeks ago. We'd over 10,000 people in the 3 Arena for a Notre Dame pep rally, and with thousands of people in Merrion Square, one of our big public parks in Dublin, that were enjoying the Navy pep rally. The Secretary of the Navy was over. Like, it's such a great experience to come to Dublin, and as I said, everybody's most welcome, and there'll be a big Cade meal of falcha for everybody coming across the pond.
How difficult will it be to get reservations at Soul or Fire next year, Mr. O'Kane, at your delicious, fantastic restaurants in Dublin City Centre?
Yeah, I appreciate the plug. We'll do our best to make sure they're full of Florida folks, etc. But to get a little bit more information at the moment, SeminolesToIreland.com. There's both travel and hospitality packs available with tickets on sale at the moment if you want to just get ahead. Stadium is nearly sold out from hospitality, etc. So demand has been strong, particularly from the Florida State side, etc. So as I said, more information. I know you guys are very focused on this season, and for a good reason, but next season won't be long coming around. So SeminolesToIreland.com, and you'll get a lot more information.
Let me tell you what T-Spark stands for. It stands for strength, commitment, teamwork, and heart. We don't ever quit until we've got nothing left to give. Our team is unstoppable. Want a guaranteed win? Call T-Spark Enterprises for your next roofing or construction project. We conquer all peaks. TSparkConstruction.com. License number CCC 1331204.
Hello, Leon County. Let's get ready to win with Ken. I'm Ken Preston. I want to be your next Leon County property appraiser. I'm driven, committed, experienced, and a dedicated community servant. I'm ready to put my experience as a former property appraiser to work to help make a difference for the people of Leon County. Let's go to work. Vote for me. Ken Preston for Leon County Property Appraiser 2024. Win with Ken. A political advertisement by Ken Preston for Leon County Property Appraiser.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Someone who thought texting was a better idea than stopping for a traffic light slams into your rear bumper. Now your back is injured and you've got to be at work and rehab all without a car. I'm Dana Brooks of Basic Brooks Law Offices, and we hear stories like this every day. You shouldn't pay for someone else's mistake. Call us at 850-777-7777, and we'll make sure you come back stronger.
There's no doubt that buying a home can feel overwhelming, especially if it's your first home. You're worried about location, school zones, square footage, inspections, insurance, loan approvals, interest rates, and of course the price. Buying a home can be the most significant investment you've ever made. But there's good news. You have our friends at Legendary Home Loans, and they're on your side and in your corner. They're going to go to bat for you. Shannon Young from Legendary Home Loans can help first-time home buyers get up to $25,000 for your down payment. For first responders, veterans, teachers, military, and healthcare workers, and that's not all, Shannon is an expert navigator of the home loan terrain, and you can trust that he's going to get you the most competitive interest rates and guide you through the process every step of the way. Plus, Shannon will also get your closing costs reduced. It's the Hometown Heroes program at Legendary Home Loans. Give them a call today, 844-FSU-LOAN. That's 844-FSU-LOAN. Or go to FSUHomeLoans.com and ask for Shannon Young.
NMLS number 2270-146.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry books to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
By the way, he hit on something a moment ago, and we'll move forward here and do Red Zone in just a second. But he's right. We were over there, obviously, right before the start of the season. And, of course, this will be the opening game of the year when we play it next year. And the weather is perfect. It's 66, 65. We actually had a lot of sunny days. I know they say it rains a little bit more than it typically did when we were there. Typically, most years it rains a little bit more, but it's a misty thing. It's fine. You walk around and
they call it a soft day over there. That's the terminology.
Yeah, it was awesome. I couldn't. Every time we got back to the hotel, I didn't want to go back to my room. I was like, no, I'm just going to stand outside because August in Florida right now sucks, and this is heaven. So this is like ideal. I just want to feel this. It's not often I get a chance to. So good times. It's if you can do it, I'd go to Ireland. That's what I'll tell you. If you can do it, I'd go to Ireland. All right, buddy. Now you guys know this has been fun. Thanks to Adam Tolliver, Artisan Financial Strategies, and our partnership with them where we created the Red Zone. As you well know, and I mentioned it before, we do this segment every time. In addition to the Red Zone, you've got to be prepared for the retirement zone. We know that the 5 years leading up to your retirement date and the immediate 5 years after are very critical. You got to go through some thoughtful planning. You want to do that for yourself. You want to do that for your family, obviously. And we got a guy who does it, who works with a team of people that are experts. And it's a fellow Knoll, Adam Tolliver, and his team at Artisan Financial Strategies. They'll help you get there. And look, go check it out if you want to learn more. You got 30 plus years of planning experience, carefully planning your legacy, accounting for rising healthcare costs, all that stuff. Head over to knollretirement.com. That's knollretirement.com. Cue it up, Tommy.
Welcome to the majesty.
Every freaking rep.
The elegance.
To win the game. Oh, he hits the upright. It's no good.
You have entered.
Someone burned down the funeral home. You burnt the funeral home.
Lives will be changed.
Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
Mothers will cry.
When you see your players give all that they have and you lose that way, it's tough.
Legacies are etched into eternity.
I know who I am.
North South Dakota was his brother from West Virginia.
This is the Red Zone.
It's good to know.
All right. I love the over-the-top montage. It's fantastic. And I think we should just add to it. It should go on for like 10 minutes. It's fantastic.
It's just a segment.
And I also just want to shout out our good friend. And for those of you that go back a ways, you'll remember it. That voice is the voice of show contributor Chris. And I miss show contributor Chris. Great guy. Was fun on the show. I used to call him out on his stupid Pistons love.
Banging Pistons.
Yeah, banging
well,
Pistons.
That was John.
But yeah, no, remember that? He was always had a soft spot for the Pistons team. I was like, why? They get their ass whooped every night.
It's time to be accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. It's time to be accountable. All right, man, let's go. Let's hear these questions. I'm curious what you're asking me here. Did you send them along, or am I just waiting for you to read them?
You're just waiting.
All right.
Bated breath. First down. Between their game with Florida State, the Canes play both North Carolina and Clemson.
Not even a Florida State question. We're going to go straight over to Miami.
Well, it's a Florida State question. When they arrive in Tallahassee to play Florida State next month, is it more likely Miami has 0 losses or 2 losses?
Ooh. And they're playing North Carolina and who?
And Clemson.
Oh, it's more likely they have 2 losses.
Okay.
I don't think they will, but it's more likely.
Just wondering because you can't pick one.
No.
Okay.
No, it's more likely that they'll have 2 losses. But no, they're not going to lose both those games, I don't think.
Understood. Second down. FSU will run for over or under 205 yards as a team tomorrow. Over or under 205 yards.
Wow. Under.
Ooh. And will we be disappointed about
No,
this?
if you run for $170 and you're up big and you know what?
And I'll give you
tell the story of the game.
You can eliminate the sack yardage there. So this is not college football rushing yards. I'll give you that back if there is 1 or 2 of those, or 1 or 2 of those.
Okay, I'll go over.
All right.
I changed my mind that if you're not going to give the sack yardage, and I started thinking about this, when we get up, we're just going to put the backups in and start running the ball. So, yeah.
We replayed the down. I like it.
Mm.
Third down, once again,
offsetting penalties.
Excluding sacks and sack yardage. Jordan Travis will have over or under 4.5 carries tomorrow. 4.5 rushes for Jordan. A sack would count technically as 1, so we're eliminating those.
Get rid of those.
It doesn't have to be 5 design runs, but by the end of the game, how many runs will he have?
I'm going to go over because I think he'll have 2 scrambles in which he does decide to tuck it and run and get out of bounds or slide, and those won't necessarily be by design. But then you'll add to it perhaps a run or 2 that is by design. So yeah, I'm gonna go over.
Okay. Fourth down, bear down. Florida State will average over or under 42.5 points per game over its next 2 games, Virginia Tech and Syracuse.
Over.
With confidence.
They're going to pace the hell out of these 2 teams. Here we go. It's time.
I think you punched it in.
It's time. It's time to get it on. Let's go. You are athletically superior. You could say it if you want to. Kia is a superior.
It's a superior automobile.
Hey, didn't you used to work at BMW?
BMW?
Kia is a superior automobile. Yeah, we're gonna go that they get done like kicking ass.
They dropping a 50 burger on either one of these teams?
It's a distinct possibility. They may play angry. They may play. Look, he's got to get them right. This is the run. Now you're set. You've got 8 games that you got to win, and you got to impress people doing it because you're in a beauty contest, unfortunately, with a lot of teams that are very similar. And anything you can do to differentiate yourself, it really matters. I hearken back to the BCS era where margin of victory mattered. I think we're kind of entering into that in a way, because of the amount of teams that are going to put their name in the hat. You know, whether that's Texas, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, go on and on and on. There are a lot of teams, one of those Pac-12 teams that are playing well. You know what? Probably a couple.
Couple of them. They could be playing in the title game and a rematch, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you might have 9 to 12 teams that have very similar resumes. You can't afford to be pussyfooting around beating BC 31-29. You can't afford to be pussyfooting around looking bad, every other quarter.
Yeah.
When people tune in, they're like, man, this doesn't look right. I mean, that's part
like
of what's
34-23 tomorrow, something like that.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, they just didn't have the horses to beat us, but we certainly didn't execute. You know what I mean? You don't want to be having those conversations. Because I'll tell you, when you listen, and I do I'm a podcaster and a podcast listener. I listen to a ton of podcasts, and from everything from history to music to sports, obviously, and do it when I'm working out at Orange Theory, do it when I'm going for a walk with the dog, do it all. I'll tune in to about 6 or 7 different national sportscasts or podcasts that I really enjoy that do a pretty good job of covering college football on balance, right? And I partly do it because I'm trying to get an impression. Sometimes it's information, but other times it's more of an impression of the way that these people with votes, people who have influence, write articles, do shows, how do they view Florida State right now? I don't have to agree with them. I just want to get a sense of how Florida State's viewed. And the way Florida State's viewed right now is very much kind of at odds and also, I think, fairly sort of it's convoluted. It's a little messed up. I think it's the way we view them. On the one hand, people are ready and willing to admit they got the 2 most impressive wins on the season. or they're in the conversation for the 2 most impressive wins for the season.
Who's done more in a month?
Right.
Yeah.
So they'll see that. They'll be like, okay, you can say whatever you want about Florida State, but they do have those 2 wins that are better than almost everybody else's 2 wins. The lone exception maybe being Texas. Maybe. Because of their win against Alabama there. I mean, they beat Alabama's ass at Alabama. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
All right. So that may be more impressive. But other than that, not many teams can even come. But then at the same time, you'll hear them say, well, they should have lost to Clemson, and they got lucky to hold on against Boston College. And, oh, by the way, that's true. They probably should have lost to Clemson. And, I mean, you go anywhere on the road against somebody and run for 22 yards, you deserve to lose. I mean, that's ridiculous. Secondly, that BC game, if they don't commit a face mask and we have to punt, we're going to lose that game. So we are. We couldn't stop them to save our life at the end.
We'll never know.
Well, we won't. We're right. We'll never know.
We had
won.
just gotten a stop the previous possession.
You know damn well. You knew it too. If we had to punt there, you were about to turn off your TV in disgust because you were about to do a post-game show after a loss to Boston College. Now.
Here we go again, Gene. That would have been the lead.
Oh. Now, having said that, we didn't lose, and we did find ways to win those games, and we did bow up in the red zone, and we did make plays when we absolutely had to make plays. So now it's about rounding into form, and I really think if we do, we'll have a breeze, just an easy pass on into that college football playoff. I mean, we'll finish the season 12-0. If they play well, they're better than every team that remains on the schedule, and not by a little bit.
Even Miami?
No,
hang on.
They're better than Miami.
Okay.
And I think that they're more than a touchdown better than Miami.
Okay.
Now,
that has evolved.
There are many teams on this schedule that they're well over 2 touchdowns better.
Including tomorrow.
One of them you play tomorrow. So go do that. Go do that. We break and come back from Mama. Jeff Cameron, Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Tallahassee businessman J.T. Burnett, who was sentenced to 3 years in a corruption scandal involving a former city commissioner and a close associate, was released from federal prison. Burnett was transported from a federal prison in Montgomery to a residential reentry management facility and is scheduled to be released November 26th of this year. His release from prison was initially scheduled for February 9th of 2024. Burnett was arrested in May 2019 and convicted in August of 2021 on 5 counts, including bribery and extortion. The FBI corruption probe also led to former city commissioner Scott Maddox and former Downtown Improvement Authority head Paige Carter-Smith being convicted. Maddox was sentenced to 5 years in prison and was released earlier this year. Carter-Smith was sentenced to 2 years in prison and was released on January 23rd of this year. This is Rachel and Nay with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MaclemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. High temperatures reach up to 84 this afternoon under cloudy skies, north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, lows dip down to about 68, highs around 82 tomorrow. A blend of clouds and sun. Dry with temperatures below average Sunday and Monday, and highs from the mid-70s to the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 78.
Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpa's, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu. Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chunglo, as I call it.
The bungalow chung, Jeff?
Is that what is the pork?
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chunglo. It's delicious. All of these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Fine. Mom has the lead. She's up by, I believe, 2. We only had 2 different last week, and she gets the win. So there you go. That's you don't have to worry about whether I'm going to argue with her or not. You guys have spoken. So there it is. Cue it up if you're ready, Tom. Let's do this thing.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room!
Ma, the meatloaf! Take it away, Jeffrey.
Your wagers with your mother are legally binding, writes Noel Dad 77. So there you go. So, Mom.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, let me make a disclaimer before we start, just in case. I've got a technician coming for our cable, and if the dogs start barking, you'll know that he's here. And so anyway, Bob is going to be getting him, but I just want everyone to know if they hear a wild cacophony of barking, that's what it is.
Well, then let's get started and not pussyfoot around here, Mother. Let's get to the games themselves. I'm conceding that loss by Cleveland, although I changed my pick because he got hurt before the game even started. I'll give it to you because we asked the audience.
There you go. And you didn't change it with you may have changed it in the pool, but not with me.
Well, I didn't call you to tell you I was changing it. It's self-evident in the pool, but okay, here we go. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to tell you
about what happened last night. I don't know who you had.
I had the Commanders. I lost the game.
I did too.
Right.
I was shocked. I thought that was almost a no-brainer. I don't know what in the world happened to Chicago. It was like all of a sudden last night, everything that could go right went right.
Yeah, and Ron Rivera didn't have Washington ready to play, and that's a problem. He may lose his job. They're 2-3, and that's an embarrassing loss to give up 40 points to the sorry-ass Bears. Onward we move. Jags and Bills over in London.
I'm picking Buffalo.
Me too. Texans and Falcons in Atlanta.
I got Houston.
Me too. Yep. There you go. How about that? Panthers at Lions.
Panthers at Lions. I believe I have the Lions.
Well, I would hope. The Panthers are 0-4 and suck.
Yes, I have them.
All right. Titans at Colts. Ooh.
I've got Indy.
I'm struggling. Struggling here.
After last week, though, Indy, I've got them.
I'm wrestling with this back and forth. I'm going to take the Titans.
Okay, let me put that down.
There you go. You got it on the sheet. We both have the Dolphins to kill the Giants.
Yes, we do.
Saints at Patriots. Ooh.
Oh, that's not a good game.
6-3 is your final.
I have New England.
I'm going to take the Saints.
Are you?
I think Mac Jones is ass. I can't do it.
No, but good Lord, I
know.
New Orleans, and then if they put Jameis in, he'll just throw an interception. So, I mean, I'll tell you what, that game last week, I mean, I like Jameis, but I mean, I couldn't believe it. They put him in for one play, and that ball that he threw, that is his famous interception when he was with the Bucs every single time.
Yeah, no, it was a little frustrating. Also, I feel for the guy. He comes into a game in which they have to throw. The whole world knows they have to throw. And so, yeah, it's going to be tough to throw a football when the world knows you have to throw a football.
I know.
I'll take the Saints. We got another different there. Ravens at Steelers.
Yeah, I have the Ravens.
Me too. Bengals at Cardinals.
Oh, I've got Cincinnati. I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a battle of attrition. I don't know. We'll see.
This is tough. Man alive. I'll take the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah, I think the Bengals are awful. Joe Burrow is a bum right now. This is awful to watch. He can't throw. It's terrible to watch.
Well, he can throw, but he can't move.
Well, he not just can't move. He can't get anything on his throws because he's not pushing off his calf. He's even said it in the press conferences. I don't even know why they're playing him.
I know. I don't either. But anyway, well, we'll see. I took Cincinnati.
I don't like my pick either, by the way. I don't feel great conviction in that game. I'll pick the Cardinals. They've been game at least.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I don't dislike the Cardinals, but
I love Joe Burrow, by the way. It pains me to watch him play like this. It's because he's clearly not right. So I'm struggling with it. Eagles at Rams.
Eagles at where? Who are they? Oh, I'm picking the Eagles.
Yeah.
Sorry. It doesn't matter who they're playing.
Well, I think it does, but they're playing the Rams, and I, too, am taking the Eagles. The Jets at the Broncos.
I know it.
Ooh.
Isn't that a game? I'm pretty sure I picked the Jets. Why can't I find it on my sheet here? Here it is. Yeah, I took the Jets.
I did, too. Chiefs at Vikings.
Oh, Chiefs.
Cowboys at 49ers.
Now, that's a game, isn't it?
Awesome game.
That is the game of the week. I took the 49ers.
Me too, but I think I would take the 3.5 points with the Cowboys if we were betting the spread. But we're not betting the spread, so we're both going to take the 49ers. And then finally, we've got Green Bay at Las Vegas.
I know. That's another one that I think's a crapshoot. I'm taking Green Bay. I think now it's funny because not last week, but the week before, Jordan Love played really good. Now last week, not so much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like, well, which Jordan Love is going to play? But I'm taking him. I'm taking Green Bay.
I too am taking Green Bay, and there it is, Mom. We have our differences again this week. Hopefully, I bounce back and get even or surpass you.
I know. Yep. I know. Listen, it was so weird. I was 2 up, then I was back even. Now 2 up again. So we'll see. But yeah, we've got the Indy, Tennessee game different. New Orleans, New England, and Arizona, Cincinnati.
Yep.
All righty. And now you guys are playing Virginia Tech.
Yeah, we should have little trouble with Virginia Tech. One would think.
Okay, and then next week I'll be there for Syracuse.
That's right. You'll be here. Looking forward to it, Mom.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, you guys have a good weekend, and I'm rooting for my picks. And I don't have any stress this week because the Bucks are not playing.
There you go. Enjoy it. Maybe have a cocktail or two and watch some of these games and relax.
I might just do it. All right, sweetie. I love you. Have a good weekend.
Love you too, Mom. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Got through it without the dogs barking.
That Green Bay Vegas game.
That's an awful game.
It's one of those with the NFL the way it is now. It's a home game for Green Bay anyway. Either place they play.
Yeah,
because people make the trip to Vegas like they do for the Rams games.
I want
or
the Bucks to play Las
Chargers
Vegas,
game.
and let's go, buddy. Let's go. Let's hope next year the Bucks play the Raiders. I'm out there. Let's go. We'll do a pregame.
Christmas Day. Let's do it.
It's been a few years now since I've been to Vegas.
Oh, you got the itch, huh?
I do. And I cleaned up the last time I was in Vegas. That was...
Oh, yeah.
I was doing some things.
You had a good blackjack dealer who said, now, do you think that you're going to continue this heater?
Yeah. So he said, do you think, his exact words to me at 3:00 in the morning, I had won 13 out of 15 hands. 13 out of 15. I was beating his ass.
Sounds like LSU receivers on their defensive backs in camp.
And at the end, the 13 out of 15 hands that I won, I think I had won 9 or 10 in a row. And after like the 9th or 10th one, whatever it was, he looked at me when he was giving me my money and he goes, do you think it's normal to win 9 hands in a row? And I was like, not mathematically. Let's deal them, baby. Come on. And then he just kind of stared at me again and he's like, you think it's normal for somebody to win 13 out of 15 hands? And I was like, no, but I have. Let's go.
It has no bearing on the next hand, sir.
Yeah, that's right. No, he kind of, but it was funny. He looked at me and he was trying to give me the wink, wink, nod, nod, like you need to take it on down the road. And I was like, you need to deal the cards. And we were at a standoff. There we were. Yes. Christian Bale and Kermit just nodding their heads. Keep them coming. And I will have another cocktail.
Oh, pit boss. Trevor over here is not dealing.
Yeah, it was funny. And I was elated when I went back up to my room. I was like, this has been a night. All right.
Somebody says he wanted a tip. You're a good tipper.
Oh, I'm a really good tipper.
Yeah.
He didn't
It's
want
probably why he called attention to it. He's like, hey, man, you've been good to me.
Yo, yeah,
I'm trying
no.
to be good to you.
No, I did him right.
Thank you for the 10 grand. You've made a mint tonight. I appreciate the tip.
He he liked me. That's why he was talking. I was just over there killing it. And then I tipped him well. And I was feeling good. So I'm already a good tipper. And then I was feeling good and winning. So he was really raking it. He shouldn't have wanted to get rid of me. He should have been like, this is my guy. This is the one. We'll come back, wrap it up. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Taxes are too high. Spending is too high. Why did Matt Gaetz join Nancy Pelosi, AOC, and over 200 Democrats in killing the Republican plan to cut Washington spending and strengthen the border? Because Matt Gaetz would rather promote himself than protect taxpayers from runaway government spending. Conservative Republicans had a deal to cut spending by 8% and restore Trump's Remain in Mexico policy. The plan would have protected taxpayers and our borders. But Matt Gaetz killed it. Matt Gaetz spends too much time chasing TV cameras and not enough time working together with conservatives to rein in Washington spending. Call Matt Gaetz at 850-479-1183 and tell him to stop voting with Democrats and start siding with Florida taxpayers. Paid for by Americans for Tax Reform. Learn more. Visit atr.org/cut spending.
The leaves are starting to fall, the temperatures will start to fall, and the prices are falling right now at Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas. Incredible dealer discounts up to $5,000 are available on all hot spring spas, the industry leader in hot tubs and spas. If you've never experienced the sensation and relaxation of having your own hot tub in your backyard on a cool evening, you're truly missing out. The cold months are coming, and now's the time to set yourself up for the best winter season you've ever had. Plus, you'll gain the added health benefits of reduced stress, relief of sore muscles, and better sleep. You'll feel so relaxed after a nice soak in your new hot spring spa. You'll experience some of the best sleep of your life. Head over to Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas on Greer Road and check out their huge showroom packed with the best selection of hot tubs and spas available. And ask about getting up to $5,000 in discounts, low interest financing, and a free accessory to make your hot tub dreams come true. If you're ready to relax, Pinch A Penny Pools and Spas is ready to show you how.
Orthop's effective treatment options now, so you feel better fast. Whether you have joint pain that won't subside or an urgent orthopedic injury, we are the specialists to get you back on your feet. And there's only one thing better than fast care: expert care. We believe you deserve both. TOC, only experts. Learn more at teamtoc.com.
Gee, honey, I'm not gonna lie. Our front yard is looking sad. Don't you think it's time for some TLJ?
I'm pretty sure you mean TLC, and I don't have time for all that work.
No, I'm talking about some TLJ, like in the radio commercials. Give your yard some TLJ from the Lawn Johns.
For all your lawn care and landscaping needs, give your yard the TLC it deserves with some TLJ. Call the Lawn Johns today for a free quote at 322-2567 or visit thelawnjohns.com.
Real Talk 93.3.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Tell you that if you're not a member of Warchant.com, you're missing out on saving all kinds of money from our friends at Garnet Gold. I went, purely coincidental in a weird way here. We were just talking during the break. I went to Garnet Gold yesterday.
Get something for the family?
I needed to get a phone case. I got Bryce a new phone, and he likes to have a Florida State case.
Oh, cool.
And they have them at Garnet Gold. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You probably picked a good one. Did it have the spear?
Had the spear.
Yeah, I
knew
knew
it.
it.
You gotta
I
have
knew
the
it.
spear, yeah.
I know you.
It's just the spear.
That's right.
It's badass. That's all you need. It says everything.
That's all we got.
It's a beautiful
That's
thing.
all we need.
That's all we need. Yeah. So
That's
anyhow,
like your the Heritage Collection polo that you were rocking yesterday.
Just the spear. Just the spear.
Because they're doing that. The coaching staff's wearing that for the Duke game, I believe it is.
I believe that is correct. And I like that shirt. And I have a couple of shirts that are similar. There's that one, and I have another Heritage shirt that I love. I can't wait till it gets cold. I've got a really sweet sweatshirt that I got from Garnet and Gold the last time I was in there. It's just the state of Florida, the golds. It's like your hat. It's like your hat.
Yep.
I just love that. I love that whole thing.
I like the Heritage Collection sweatshirt that's understated, and it's got the FSU and the outline.
Yeah,
the turquoise color.
Yeah.
That's classy.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So now, like, Christie's got a case that is just the lightning, just the bolts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I've got this one, which is that kick-ass Buccaneers.
He's winking at you.
A little Bucko Bruce action. And but really, that case is held up nicely. I've had this sucker for a while. That thing was beat to hell.
Yeah, you had that at the old place of employment.
I know. Think about that. Sweet. And I've upgraded the phone a bunch of times. So this is...
Think about it.
Yeah. All these people. And then now Bryce has got the and finally Clark is back in the fold. He hadn't had a phone in 6 months. I got him one.
Well, there you go. 6 months. Why not?
Because he's irresponsible. I don't have time for that nonsense.
Penalty.
He's irresponsible. And he used to ask me, you sound like him. Why not, Dad? Because you're irresponsible.
No, I knew the answer.
Yeah.
I just was wondering if you would go to air with it. That's all.
Yeah, he's irresponsible. I was done with it. Drives me nuts.
Have they seen Ace Ventura yet?
No, they haven't. Yeah, they'll have to. Yeah.
Penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the funny thing about him, he tests me all the time, and I am really quite patient. And then until I'm not. So he's learning that lesson. Like, it's like, okay, I've told you like 6-7 times that the next thing that happens is the phone goes. And then he kept doing it, and I was like, give me the phone. I was done with it. I let it turn off and everything. I just powered down. It had no juice, nothing. Yeah, it was all over.
You didn't chuck it across the garage like Ari Gold?
I did not chuck it across the garage. I put it in a secret hiding place, and then I said, we'll get around to getting it back to you at some point.
The sewer?
This is going in the holding pond, son. No, it was somewhere else. And then from there, when it was time to upgrade, I'm on that plan where you get the new phones when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Clark, you don't get one. How about that? It was brutal.
You said it with glee, didn't you?
I did. I was like, you don't get one. Everybody else gets a new phone but you. And that's an uncomfortable thing to let sit out there.
Now, if you want some Fritos, here you go. Get a bag of Fritos.
It was crazy. Yeah, but now he's got one, so there you go.
Have you put in the fire pit thing yet? Have you done that?
I never did it.
I was going to say, this Sunday morning, Saturday night late for the Pac-12 action would be a good time to.
It's not going to be cold enough yet.
Well, it might be in the lower 50s on Sunday morning.
Well, when's it getting here? Because it was hot and humid out here today. I walked outside and it was not that pleasant.
Tomorrow/Sunday.
Come on.
Another cold front next weekend, too.
There we go. Let's go. You know what I missed out on? I blew it. You realize they're in Jackson, Mississippi for the Sanderson Farms this week? With all the gambling that we do, and I just didn't even realize it.
Who's they? The Tour?
The Tour.
This is the Stars don't have to play anymore, though, right? This is
no, but I mean,
like God bless him. Jonas Blix is probably playing.
Well,
he's had a good career.
Yeah, and he needs to play. Hank Libiota's out there playing. I guarantee
I'm sure
you.
He is.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that Peter Malnati needs to get his ass out there. I can tell you that right now. Like, oh, look at that. Old David Lipsky's out here this weekend, huh? He's trying to hold on to that tour card.
I feel like you have to say his name like Brasky, David Lipsky.
Luke List is in the lead currently because that's exactly who should be in the lead at the Sanderson Farms. How about Harrison Endicott? How's he doing?
Yeah.
But,
is he going to make the cut?
Lanto Griffin, Eric Cole, and yes, Jonas Blix is currently 5 under.
There you go, Jonas.
Come on, Jonas. He's going to make that cut this weekend. He's going to keep that tour card.
Me and golf are on a break after the Ryder Cup. Need a couple weeks.
You know who's out there playing? Camilo Villegas.
Oh, my goodness.
He's 4 under today. I thought he was done. He was in the broadcast booth for a while there. I thought he was done.
Throwback with him and Jonas to like the 2011 regionals.
Cameron Percy, Sean O'Hare, Sam Bennett. Sanderson Farms where it's at this week.
Is it?
Good work out of you. We're headed over to Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill around 5 o'clock for a little happy hour if you guys want to join us. Good job, Director Matthew, and we appreciate all of you. Be good. Peace.